Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Own Your Essence podcast, where we get to have deep transformational conversations with some of our favorite people. I am your host, April DeMille, and um, your co-host today is going to be Lee. And you might be thinking to yourself, "What? That's funny because I don't see him here." But we have something fun in store for you. Even though Lee isn't with us physically at the moment, his essence will be here because I thought it would be really fun to do a small compilation of my favorite moments with my buddy. As you guys know, he has been here hosting before. He actually started the podcast with me originally last year. And then he had some other directions he needed to go, and so did I. And so he still gets to come bless us with his presence, here and there from time to time. But there's something magical about the synergy between Lee and I sometimes. And so I thought it'd be, I don't know, creative and just different if we just did a little compilation of some of my favorite moments with him. So that's what we have in store for you today. So without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this episode.
Hey guys. For those of you that are seeking intuitive insight, I provide private psychic medium readings. These sessions are designed to bring clarity and direction across areas like money, career, relationships, family dynamics, spiritual evolution, and emotional well-being. If you are ready for a deeper, more personalized support, I offer private one-on-one coaching for those navigating grief, trauma, and the complexities of toxic relationship recovery. You can schedule a discovery call using the links provided to ensure it's a comfortable fit. You'll find all booking links in the show notes of every episode. And as always, thanks for tuning in. Bye.
I was a police officer, and I still at that time I was intuitive, but I didn't know that I was able to connect, with higher realms or anything. Not at all. But when I was 11 years old, my dad, he was actually a chief of police down in Easton in Mass, and he would, yeah, rightly, and I would visit him on the weekends, and he was actually learning how to be a hypnotist on the side for hit and run cases. And
Nice.
so he would use me as his guinea pig, and I would sit there, and he'd say, "Okay, Sheila, close your eyes," and he'd get me into a meditative state. And I just thought everybody did that with their dad. I didn't realize that I was starting to connect and go into that unseen world of energy. So later on, when I had my daughter, actually, I had just left policing because I was a stay-at-home mom, and that was more to me than anything. And I'll tell you, oh my God, you have to hear. Are you ready for a great story?
Absolutely, always.
Okay, this is the best story. This is really how it happened. So my sister-in-law was very new age, right? And of course, I didn't believe in anything like that. And one time I was on my phone in my bedroom. I was talking to her on the phone, and all of a sudden, my daughter was with me. She was about a year old, running around the room, and it was nighttime. And all of a sudden, I heard lightning outside. And I'm like, "Oh my God, is it lightning and thunder at your house?" She's like, "No." I'm like, "Oh, that's weird." And I went over to the window, and it was raining. But when I went to the window, went to shut the window, the rain stopped. I'm like, "That was weird." So I stopped. So I went back and laid on the bed. And at the end of my bed was a doorway to go in the bathroom. And I'm sitting there like this talking to her. And all of a sudden, me and my daughter both saw there was this light in the bathroom about 4 feet high. And so here's the tree right here. It went around like this and went like that. So I'm like, "Oh my God." It was like a ball of light. She's like, what is wrong?" I'm like, I was afraid to talk because I was afraid it would see me, right? Because it was like hiding from me. And she's like, "Are you seeing ghosts?" And I'm thinking, I don't know. And all of a sudden, this
You're
white
like,
light lifted
maybe.
up. Yeah, I lifted up and just flew across the room. My daughter watched it, and that was it. So next thing I know, a couple months later, I get this gift certificate from my sister-in-law for Christmas, meet your spirit guide class, right? And I'm thinking, she's out of her flipping mind. I'm not going
You're
to
like,
anything
this
like that.
hippy dippy.
Yeah. I'm like, no, thank you, right? So I take the gift certificate and I put it in the cupboard and I said, yeah, right, whatever. So a year later rolls by and I'm like, I was kind of scared of her because she's very blunt. And I said, yeah, I better go to that class, right? Before Christmas comes. So I made the appointment and I get in the classroom. And it's one of these new age shops. They're more prominent up in Massachusetts more than here in Florida, I noticed. I guess it's so different up there than it is down here where I'm at right now. But anyways, so I get in the classroom and the lady's sitting there and what does she do? She takes us in a meditation. And I said, oh my God, I know how to do this. So I go in the meditation, this and that. And when I get deep into the meditation, it starts taking off for me. I'm seeing things that I'm not subconsciously thinking, this and that. And I came out crying, like, oh my God, this shit is real, right? And I'm like, oh my God, right? And so, I have to let you know, before I went in, I prayed to Mary and Jesus and everybody, all the saints. I said, please, if I'm not supposed to see anything, if this is dark people, don't let me see anything. Shut me down. And the opposite happened. And so, yeah, so from there, I started taking classes, this and that, and it just happened for me. And I came home and I told my husband, I feel bad for him. I said, I have to do this. He goes, you have to do what? And I said, I have to do mediumship. He goes, what's that? And I said, well, it's like readings and stuff. He's like, oh, great. He was a police officer too, right? And I'm like, it's okay. You can divorce me if you need to, because I totally get it. Because I was a skeptic too. I said, but if I don't do this, I'll die. I mean, it came that strong in me.
Yeah.
And when I started connecting through the classes, for me, it was a calling. It was like, if I didn't do this, I might as well just give it up now. For me, my calling was to teach everyone how to connect. That's where my passion was towards this. And that's why I continued to learn and go to class, because I wanted everyone to know that everybody's able to connect. It's not, I mean, yes, some of us, it's a calling where, like, I never thought in a million years I'd be doing forensics. But uh, it's like different piano players. You get your beginner, you got your semi-pro, and your professional. But for me, it was more about teaching people to connect to the energy. And then lo and behold, spirit gave me other things along the way that I needed to do. And one of them was forensic mediumship. And so that's what happened to me.
I was actually going to ask this earlier, Sheila. It doesn't necessarily have to do with what you were just speaking about, but I'm curious because you were a police officer. So it sounds like, and you said that you were skeptical of some of this stuff to begin with, right? And so it sounds like maybe a little more left-brained in that sense, maybe a bit more analytical and all that. So I'm curious, like when you first started receiving information or you first started down this path, because I see this so much with people and myself included, even sometimes still, where, I'll get in my head and I'll be like, am I just making this up? Like, is this, and, that's where the evidence piece tends to come in and sort of reaffirm things and all that. But did you experience that? Especially
oh my God. Yes. Oh my God. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So in the beginning, when I first started going to mediumship class, I'm not kidding you. Someone said to me, are you going to come to mediumship class? I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
Right. So I get into class and I'm like, how do I know I'm doubting everything I'm seeing? How do I know I'm not doubting that? And this is what I teach in my class. If you're not subconsciously thinking it, you're not creating it. So you have to truly, honestly be honest with your being, be honest with yourself. Did you subconsciously think that earlier? Did you pull that out of your records, or is spirit showing you? And how I do that is I always say, okay, spirit, show me in two different ways that I'm not thinking.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so I trust my guides and I try to tell my students, your relationship, I'm not your teacher, I'm just your guide. Your teachers are your guides, is your higher power. I said, so the best thing you can do is establish that relationship with your guides. And how can you do that? You have to have faith in your higher power. And once you can truly have 305 billion% faith in your higher power, you'll have the trust. And then along with that comes the no doubt, because you're establishing a relationship. But mostly for me, like even like I work alone a lot, like when I'm doing forensics. So I'll say, spirit, show me something I'm not thinking. And then I'll say, oh yeah, I wasn't thinking that. You know what I mean? I'm like, so that to me is like confirmation, in the sense. So that's one of the things in my blueprint that I do use, you know.
I love that. I love that. I might adopt that actually. Show me.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me in two ways that I'm not thinking. Because of course, our subconscious is always, in the awareness always active. So of course, our mind can get in there sometimes. And, I've heard it explained different ways about how different people individually discern, like, is this from spirit or is this, from myself? But I really like that way of,
Yeah.
show me two different things that I'm not thinking that aren't from my records.
Yeah.
So
And then you have to be brutally honest with yourself. Were you thinking that subconsciously or not? And that's the key. And I don't know, but when I teach the students, what I love to watch is people grow as beings too, because they're being brutally honest with themselves. Are you connecting or are you not connecting? Because I can guide you to connect if you're truly honest with me. But Spirit's waiting for you to be honest with yourself first.
Right.
You know what I mean? Are you subconsciously thinking? I remember in the beginning, that was the biggest thing for me was I doubted what I was seeing, but everyone in the room knew exactly what I was saying. They understood their father, their grandfather, and they understand the unique things about them. And I still doubted it. I'm like, that can't be. But if these people understand it, it's something. And I'm not clearly not making it up. I didn't know that there was a orange alligator in the roadway by a pillow or something. I don't know what
yeah.
I'm saying. You know
You're
what I
like,
mean?
there's been plenty of times that I've said, look, I'm creative, but I'm not that fucking creative.
Yeah.
So I know it's not me.
Yeah.
So this
Okay.
one, it's kind of like two parts. So have you channeled a spirit that you know you wouldn't like or get along with in human form? And then the second part of that would be, how did you handle it?
Yes, absolutely. Many times. Um, Again, like on a human level, I know that we wouldn't have vibed. I mean, I think I just handled it like any other reading though, because there's an awareness too that now they're in spirit, so they're not in human form anymore, and they're not
Right.
carrying that
This,
stuff anymore. Like
yeah.
the personality might come through for validation, but like it's not really, it's not like they're on the other side and they're still carrying around the heavier, denser human stuff. So I just treat it like any other reading, I guess, where I'm like, I understand you are a certain way in life, and that's cool. We're all different, but yeah, I mean, I've had that thought though, for sure, where I'm like, I feel like if I came across you in human form, like I know that we definitely would not align, but it's different now as like the channeler and the all of that. So, but many times, yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one though. I like that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, I have to ask this one. This was one of the newer ones that I asked for. But I just love this. So, if Mercury retrograde was a person, how would you break up with them?
Well, I wouldn't. We'd keep getting back together.
That's true. That's a
Like,
good
like
answer.
about 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah, yes, that's a good answer. We just keep getting back
We
together.
just
Like,
keep fucking hooking up every couple months.
yeah.
Like it'd be a thing.
Okay, that's good. I like that.
I'd be like, we're done. See you in 3 months.
Yeah, we're over. I'll see you in 3 months. It's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that.
That's
I
a
like that.
fucking fun question, by the way. That's a
I
really
I
fun
saw
question.
Mercury retrograde and I'm like, oh my God, I have to ask April this.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really
Yeah.
good one. That's so funny. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do. We finished our rapid fire questions, but one thing that we thought would be really fun was ChatGPT gave us the idea of like, well, what if your spirit guide had to have a dating profile? What would it say? So we had fun fucking with that, coming up with something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and start with Renee's. This is her dating profile, right? So it says Renee, eternal but emotionally unavailable, spirit realm, occasionally ghosting Earth. About me. Hi, I'm Renee, your gorgeous Greek ancient as fuck spirit guide. Think Athena meets Morticia Adams meets your emotional unavailable ex, but prettier. I've got waist length dark braids a stare that could vaporize your chakras, and a vibe so regal, you'll feel undressed just thinking about me. I specialize in intense soul wisdom, long silences during your existential crises, and leaving you on red when you're sobbing in the bathtub.
Oh my God.
She's an ass to me. She says, I could help, but where's the growth in that? Fun facts. I don't abandon you. I just go into divine airplane mode. Fluent in cryptic signs, eye rolls from the astral plane, and figured out yourself mortal. I come back right when you say I'm fine with a tone that clearly means you're not. Fired weekly, rehired by default, immortal, unionized, can't be removed, deal with it.
Yeah.
Looking for someone who can take a divine roasting, grow without hand holding, and stop yelling at the sky every time Mercury sneezes. Wow. If you're emotionally dramatic, prone to spiritual tantrums, and like blaming your guides for your procrastination, I already know you. Hi, April. Wow. Oh my God. Turn-ons, accountability, journaling before whining, prayers that don't sound like Yelp complaints, mortals who do their shadow work without needing an audience. Dude, what a dig.
Jeez, she's really, really going at it.
Turn-offs, begging for signs while ignoring the 8 I already sent. Yes, the crow was me. Firing me like I'm not an omnipotent queen. Screaming, where were you, while doing the exact opposite of what I advised you to do 5 days ago. My toxic traits. I disappear when you need clarity, but pop in to whisper you already know the answer when you're trying to watch Netflix and disassociate.
Yep.
Human review from April. She's majestic and probably knows everything, but I can't prove it because she won't talk when I need her most. She just stands there with her stupid braids and that divine detachment face like I'm the unreasonable one. I fired her like 17 times, but she's like glitter. You think she's gone until she shows up in your dream as a crow holding a scroll that says, look within. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ideal date. Walking silently beside you on a beach while you beg for answers, and I just smirk into the sunset. No talking, just vibes, just lessons, just growth. So there you go. That's Renee. That's her
Beautiful.
little dating profile.
I feel like her and Meredith could be friends. So
They're fucking besties. Swear to
they
God.
have to be.
Yeah.
They have to be.
Let's
Love
hear
that.
it. Let's hear
Love that.
Meredith. I want to hear it. It's
All
gonna be
right.
good.
Meredith, age, timeless, but somehow always running late. Location, just behind the veil, or possibly at a farmer's market sniffing daisies. Yeah. Occupation, spirit guide, elusive oracle, full-time ghoster. Vibe, whispers and wildflowers. Looking for somebody who doesn't need too much clarity. About me. Blonde bombshell in the astral realm, short hair, long silences. Here for a good time and a cryptic one. I specialize in saying just enough to confuse you into spiritual growth. I enjoy long walks on the energetic plane, dropping vague signs that might be a metaphor for bees. That's true. Occasionally reminding you you have the answers and then leaving you with none of them.
Don't you love that? Picking up all the pieces?
Sounds like Renee, too. So.
I know.
Watching you try to interpret the meaning of 3 pigeons and a sunflower as a coded message. I don't enjoy being summoned before 11:11. Repeating myself, I already whispered it once. Listen harder.
Wow.
I know. Being mistaken for your anxiety. God. When you ask for a sign and then ignore the bee that literally landed on your third eye.
Oh my God. And you would so do that.
I have my moments. I do. My love language, subtlety, true. Vanishing just before you figure something out. Arriving only when your patience has dissolved into tears and sarcasm. I like that. Fun fact, I've ghosted better than most exes and still have better boundaries.
Yikes. God dang.
Yeah. Went straight for it.
That's bad. That's brutal.
Yeah. Ideal match. Someone who can read between the veils. Bonus points if you're emotionally resilient and can take a hint and then question it for 3 days. Not looking for anything serious unless it's a soul contract.
Yeah.
I love it. I will give Meredith a lot of credit though, because I still have my moments where I don't listen, and she's probably trying to connect with me, and I'm just like, what's going? Because it's so subtle, and I'm just like, what? Like, who's there? You know? And she's probably like, hello.
You're like, what?
It's true. It's true. I hope people like really enjoyed just us cracking up for an hour. This is great.
I'm crying. Hold on a second. My face hurts. What is there? I cannot even.
It's not even an exaggeration. Like, what? Who's there though?
Oh my God. Look, I have actual tears. Oh God.
That's so funny.
That's fucking good.
But not even an exaggeration. I'm owning my part.
I'm having a whole meltdown right now. I'm sorry.
I'm having a whole meltdown. I hope you don't edit us laughing out of this.
I was just gonna say, I might have to edit out half of this laughing because it's just nonstop fucking laughing. It's great.
Oh man, I mean, at
Oh,
least
so
we didn't
good.
laugh.
The what? Who's there? Just fucking got me. Oh my
I mean,
goodness.
I'm still hung up on your spirit guide's catchphrase, like "Stop whining, you little bit." I just can't with that.
That was bad too. Yeah. Oh goodness. Okay, I have to force myself to stop laughing so we can actually say goodbye. Don't you
All
have
right.
you have something to do, huh? We have to get off of here.
Yeah, yeah, I have something to do. So.
Okay, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna leave you with the 5 minutes of nonstop laughing. You're gonna get it. So
Yeah.
you get all the ugly laughing faces. It's all yours.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that was a blast, and
That was good.
I think we're gonna stop it here, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
When I was physically sitting with people and I could see them, I'm like, am I just maybe picking up on like body language and I don't know it? But again, some of the things that have come through, like you
Can
can't
I
get.
ask you real quick too, like since you're on like that little thread,
Yeah.
how much of this do you think is telepathy? Even
Oh,
if,
interesting.
like you're saying, oh, I couldn't have picked up on this or whatever, how much of the information do you feel is possibly telepathy
Hmm.
and being tapped in? You know what I mean?
It's a good question. I think I know now when I do mediumship readings, like I can discern like that I feel a soul with me, you know, and it's just a bit of a different feeling than I would say maybe telepathically getting information from somebody. It can feel somewhat similar in certain ways, because I think that spirit will kind of use that sort of channel that maybe telepathy also kind of goes through.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's like the same machine, different setting. You know what I mean? So it can
Okay.
feel kind of similar. That's the best way I know how to kind
Yeah.
of describe that.
Well,
But
and also there's the like if you think about it, like sometimes I can kind of see it both ways because like telepathically maybe you are at a frequency where you're initiating that information forward, right? Like you're
yeah,
attracting it, right? So that puts you in front of whoever needs to be read in that moment. It's like magnetic, right? So you're pulling that in and you're bringing forward some very important sacred stuff.
mm,
And that can take on a feeling of how they felt about the person, right? Like, so it might feel like a different energy or something anyway. But then there's also the fact that I've had a million experiences where I've had spirits touch my hair and
Right.
poke me and talk to me. And so, like, what then? Like, I feel like that still doesn't necessarily, what is that part?
Right. Yeah. It's interesting to kind of sit with all of that. I think again, for me, it's just like there's a differentiation for me between like feeling an actual energy in my space and maybe getting something
Yeah.
telepathically from somewhere.
Yeah.
Um, I will say too, like I have had spirit many times now give me information that the person that I'm sitting with doesn't even know about, So, so for
Yeah,
me,
that's a good point.
right. So for me, I'm kind of like, well, if it's not even in their head to begin with, you know what I mean? Like, I can't be pulling it from their awareness because they don't even know. I'll say something and then they'll come back maybe a few days later or a week later and be like, so I asked, this other family member or this person or whatever, or, you know, whatever it is. And you were right. Or they might not have even asked someone. Something might have just happened, like taken place, where
Yeah.
I'll mention something and then something will take place. Um, so so I think
Yeah.
that has kind of led me to, it's not just pulling from someone's field or awareness. I think is
Unless it's like you're just tapped into their higher self and their higher self is so like all knowing, but
sure.
still, like I can see where you would like feel the differences there too. I
Yeah.
know that for me, like when I've sat down to do readings, it is definitely a balance because I am tapped in telepathically and I know I can hear people's thoughts a lot of times, and this is not at will. I do not do this at will. This is not a disciplined skill. It's kind of like, do you know what scrying is?
Yeah.
Okay, I do that all the time too, and that is also not will. It's just one of those things
Yeah.
that I just am able to access and I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. Like it's just one of
Yeah.
those things that happens accidentally. So the telepathy for me when I'm sitting with a reading is kind of tricky because like I can pick up
Yeah.
on some of the thoughts and the wants and the feelings and I have to discern between that
Mhm.
and what the most probable path is that's coming forward or whatever the information and it can be a nice little balancing act. And for
Yeah.
me, that is sometimes why it can be such energetic work too, and kind of taxing on our end because there is so much balancing happening.
Yeah, you definitely have to be discerning, I think, and
Yeah,
yeah, doing the balancing act. Because like you said, I can pick up on things just in people's awareness. Not the same for me as mediumship, but it
for
is something
sure.
that happens.
Yeah.
I think to add to what I said before, to what I said before, like it's just more obvious, I guess, to me that there's like a communication happening, like not between me and the person I'm sitting with, but me and this other
And
consciousness,
yeah, yeah,
Um, and it does, it just feels like we're communicating and we're connecting and there's a conversation happening and there's, a dialogue that's not like me and you were talking, but like in a way of like there is another presence that is with us in the room that,
yeah,
it's just clear to me that this is a communication that's
yeah.
that's going on.
Well, and I'd like to use a little bit of my own private story with that. I recently, this was recently actually, like maybe what, 2 months ago. So you didn't know that I had a stepbrother that had committed suicide a couple years ago. And and I he was like in life, he was fun, he was amazing, like he was all the things, loved him to death. He looked up to me so much. Like there was such a great connection between us. And so in death, he was always bugging me. Like, hey, I'm here. Like it's just the same energy, but you didn't know that. And you
Mhm.
had no idea. Like it's not something we'd ever talked about. And one day you were like, I have this energy. And what was the song? It was Afroman.
Oh my God, yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was
right, that
Afro
was you.
Man. Yeah, it was me. So it was like, he was like, and you just randomly, like, you just messaged me without even knowing that the connection was to me.
Yeah.
And he had actually been bugging me for like 3 days solid straight at that point. And he does it off and on. Like, he's just like, I'm your annoying brother. I'm right here. But like,
Yeah.
but also I love you to death and whatever. So So anyway, he'd been like on my ass for a few days, and I'm like, dude, come on. And so like, and so like a lot of times I just kind of blow him off, which is what you do to brothers. You just whatever,
Yeah.
right? So and just for context, I practice really firm rules when it comes to my mediumship. A lot of times I'm like, I don't want to talk, I don't want to talk, and I don't until I'm ready, like period. And so like I try to keep the volume down as much as possible when I'm focused on other things. So you had messaged me randomly. I'm going to say randomly. And you were like, I don't know, but there's this energy and it's playing this song and I fucking hate this song. And like it was
Oh,
bugging
yeah.
you. Do you remember
Yeah.
that? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, I
Because
can't
I
stand
don't
them.
like the song. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then there was something else that you said too, though. There were a few things that you said. And I was like, I just started laughing and I was like, oh. I said, I know exactly who you're talking to. And then I started to tell you, and you were like, what? I didn't even know any of this stuff. And I was like, I know. That's what makes this so great. And so like he had showed you like my jacked up Jeep that I used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he was showing you like what kind of ladies man he was, pretending to be a player, even though he wasn't a player. Like all the things he was showing you all the things, and I was like, dude, you got my little brother like on the line with
Yeah.
you. And he was doing it, he was going out of his way to get my attention through you because I was blowing him off. I was
Yeah.
ignoring him
Yeah.
for days. And so he's
Yeah.
like, fine, bitch, I'll go through your best buddy. I'll go through one of your friends to get your attention. And then you brought all that through, and I was dying laughing. It was so
That
funny.
is hysterical. I honestly forgot about most of that. I remember that we had a conversation where I said something and there was a person that I wasn't aware of in your field that came through. I didn't even remember, honestly, April, who it was to you until you said it. Now it all came back as you said it. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I remember the Afroman thing, but I didn't connect it with you. But that was you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that totally escaped me. So that's funny, actually, like hearing that back and like reliving that. Funny enough, that wasn't even too long ago. But like I said, I don't hold on to some of the information. So
Yeah. No, and I get that too because a lot of times I'll see information in readings and then maybe I might sit down with another person like a year later and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I think you said that once before." And I'm like, "I did?" And like
yeah,
I'm like, "I don't know." Like some that once we channel it through, it kind of escapes us.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I always say too, because it's not really mine. It's not my thoughts, my memories, my messages. Like so,
Right.
I just, by the nature of it filtering through me, of course, I remember some things, but a
Yeah.
lot of it I really don't. I've had people where, they've popped up in my space and they'll be like, oh my God, yeah, you did a reading for me and my mom came through
Yeah.
and I have no recollection. I'm like, really?
You're
Like
like, "Oh
I might
yeah."
remember the person, like
Yeah.
I remember your name or you, but like,
You remember there was an event, but you might not remember much else.
right. Kind of
Yeah.
like this, where I remember there was an event, but
Yeah.
not much else. But
Yeah.
that's hysterical though. I remember, and yeah, I don't like that Afroman song.
No, and he loved Afroman. Like he was
Yeah.
such a white little thug. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like he was something else.
Well, I think that's kind of how he came through it. I don't think I said that specifically, but I think if I remember correctly, now that we're talking about it, and now that's coming back a little bit, like he kind of came through with that type of personality,
He did
that,
because I remember he was showing you like the ladies' man stuff. And I
yeah,
was like, oh, get the fuck out of here. That is so, he's something else, I swear.
yeah. Well, I think what he told me too was he was saying like something like I really liked women, and like
Yeah.
there was like this ladies' man. uh, so that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for reminding me of that.
Well,
That's funny.
no, it's good. It's good context for kind of like some of the stuff we're talking about. Like this is
Yeah.
not stuff you even knew about me
No.
and like what, yeah, and the message still got delivered, even though like you're just again, you're just the medium.
Yeah. Yeah. Just I'm the middle point. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect. But there was times that I would have not chose Grinch or Buddy the Elf, and I would have gone Scrooge.
Okay.
All the way Scrooge.
All right.
I'd be like, fuck all you guys. I hate Christmas. I'm sick of carolers. I'm I would
Get
have
off my
definitely
lawn.
yeah, I would have had my moment with that too. So yeah. Um okay, here's a fun question. Wait, let me see. There was another one. Where's the other one? Oh, I have two fun questions. These are fun.
Okay.
If the holidays were a tarot card, what would it be?
Oh. Oh, that's a good question.
It's fun, huh?
Trying to even think of all the tarot cards now too, which is which is interesting because I am certified to read tarot. I just never do it. So
Right.
I totally forget some of them. I don't know. I almost want to say the sun because the sun is,
Okay.
like sort of, abundant, right? And
Right.
so like
Prospects, fun.
yeah. So I feel like the holidays kind of reflect that. So I'm gonna go with that. I feel like it's more like a sun card to me.
Okay. That's fair. I'm going to say the star card.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to go with the star card on that one.
I could see that too. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that one, well, and even the high priestess has that vibe for me, but I'm going to go with the star card.
I like that.
Okay. Last one.
All right.
If your guides decorated your tree, what's on top?
Absence? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding.
It's blank, bitches.
Just nothing there. No, just kidding. I had to.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Well, 'cause I remember we had talked about that, I think on here, that sometimes we don't like feel them and it feels
So they
like
put a little ghost on top.
yeah, just little ghost. Honestly, knowing my guys, I will make a disclaimer too. Even if we don't feel them all the time, I do believe they're still there and they're still with us. Like that is something that has been within my experience. But I have to joke about it sometimes. just nothing. I would say knowing my guides something really cheerful and like joyful, honestly, because like when I asked for one of their names or what name they wanted to call me by, my main spirit guide Meredith, she said she liked the name Meredith because you could shorten it to Mary, and she likes being married. So I'm like, okay. And then one of the other ones, Joyce, she gave me the name Joyce, and she said I like that because the word joy is in it, and so probably something very cheery, almost like Buddy the Elf vibe. You know
Oh
what
my
I mean?
God, yeah.
Very exuberant and cheerful and like, whatever that is. But I don't, maybe like 20 rainbow unicorns that like are shining like disco balls. I don't know. That's what I pictured. So I'm going with that.
Fuck, did we go from absence to 20 unicorn rainbow disco balls?
To nothing to 20 rainbow unicorns.
Like, go big or go home. Fuck off.
Yeah. That's what I'm going with. That's it.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'm kind of brain dead at this point. I'm like, woo, I got nothing for you.
just nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. Oh, I mean, you've got enough rainbow disco balls to share with me at this point. So
yeah, you can have some. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's a good one.
I gotta joke about it sometimes, but honestly, I feel like there's truth to the rainbow unicorn thing. I feel like they would totally like that's their vibe.
Yeah. Wow. That one got me. That's funny. I guess God, I'm like sitting here going, well, if my guides decorated my tree, I'd probably have big middle fingers on the top of mine. So, like a huge hand just fucking waving its middle finger. That's what I would get. So I'm gonna go with that one for now. God, which is almost as bad as absence. I mean,
Almost. Yeah.
yeah, it's almost just as bad. I guess if they were, let me think about this. Yeah. I feel like sometimes Renee tends to have this very she's just got this this vibe to her for sure, like they all do, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like she would leave me an olive branch.
I could see that.
right? Like,
I could see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
If it's not the middle finger, then it's the olive branch.
One or the other.
It's
We
one
went
or
from
the
middle finger
other.
to olive branch.
It
Yeah.
depends on my mood that day and how open I am, but yeah.
I feel like she would leave an olive branch.
Yeah.
That feels like, from what I know about her and yours guys' dynamic and all of that, that feels fitting. And I feel like that's her personality a little bit, like she'd be like, here you go, very cautiously, but here you go.
Yeah. And then I'm sitting here thinking, let's just flip the roles here for a second. If we were going to gift our guides something, like leave them a cute little stocking stuffer, right? We're going to gift them something. What would yours be?
That's a good question. I'm trying to think of things that they can even like use, because they're not like in physical form. So I can't leave them like food or anything, they can't digest. But, oh God, what would I leave them? I guess it would depend on my mood. If I'm feeling very generous and we're feeling like everything's vibing and everything, I don't know, maybe like, I keep feeling like a crystal of some sort. And not that they can use it, but they might enjoy like the frequency or the energy behind it, So I don't know, maybe something like that. Maybe like a colorful kind of crystal that they can kind of vibe with. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. I think if I had to leave something in a stocking for mine, it would probably be like a letter of reference with a big gratitude and thanks for your services. Like,
I like that.
like, thanks for your services. Here's a letter of reference, right? A letter of recommendation, right? For the next motherfucker that signs up with you.
Here's a letter of recommendation. I mean, honestly, I thought you were going to say something like, I would leave a note that says, fuck you all or something. So.
You're fired.
But I like that. Okay. Yeah.
I'll give you a letter of recommendation for the next idiot that signs up with you. Poor bastard. But also, yeah, right? Like, but also, thanks for your services. Much love.
But thank you at the same time.
Yeah, much love. So, yeah.
Jeez. That's funny.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.